Hi. This is Channel 6 by 9 Storyteller on my channel. The best stories that happened in life with people are collected. I wish you a pleasant viewing.
My ex is lying about me cheating on him, but I still don't hate him. My ex, 30/M, and I, 28/F, broke up over a year ago, but he keeps writing about the breakup on Twitter. We had been a couple for almost 7 years, and I thought we would be together forever, start a family and move to a house since we were living in a small one-bedroom flat at the moment. That wasn't his idea of the future though. He has always been very interested in gaming and would spend the majority of his time online, and he seemingly had no intention of changing this. I brought up the topic since I thought we were both getting old enough and mature enough to have kids. He said he didn't know if he wanted that responsibility, which is understandable. He had a troubled childhood, but I wanted this to be his opportunity to a normal family, so I asked him to please think about it. I didn't want to nag about it since I wanted him to want a child by his own will and to consider what he wanted with his future. He didn't seem to take this seriously as weeks passed, and he never came to talk to me about the situation, just sitting by his PC as soon as he came home from work. He seemed to ignore the problem at hand, that I would leave him. I must clarify that when we started dating I was just 21 and neither of us had any plans on what we wanted to do in the future. But now I was very certain I wanted a family. I wanted all of it, the pregnancy, picking out baby clothes, celebrating birthdays, growing together as a family, and all the bad as well. I told him clearly that I would have to move away, but I think he must have been in denial or just not have cared at the moment since he wouldn't bring it up on his own. By this time, 3 months had passed, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to leave him, but I also didn't want to regret not having children. I didn't want to be 50 and still live the way we did. I asked him once again, I got a no this time, and it was decided I would move. We cried about it. I started looking for a place to live. I used my savings to buy a new apartment since I couldn't afford a rental. The only problem was I wouldn't have access to it for another 3 months. My ex didn't want to break up once I had bought the apartment and wanted to cherish our last time together. I stupidly agreed to staying together until I would move. These months were the worst of my life. I was incredibly stressed and depressed and thought about ending my life since I would lose everything I had worked so hard for. During these months he acted like nothing was wrong. He would tell me he loved me and I didn't know what to answer. I felt like I had to start all over again. I wanted to die. I couldn't deal with it and started distancing myself from him by talking to friends instead. I did what he would always do, sit by my PC and talk to randoms to distract myself. I knew this was no one's fault, we just wanted different things. When I finally would get access to the apartment, it got delayed by another 30 days. I couldn't take it. At this point it had been half a year of misery and panic attacks. I tried breaking up with him, but I just couldn't. I was heartbroken and I didn't want to make him sad, I just wanted to be free from living in this fake relationship situation. A week later we broke up, right as I was going to go on vacation. I was going to visit friends and be gone for 2 weeks so it wouldn't be awkward afterwards, and I didn't want to regret anything. During those 2 weeks I had the most fun I had had that entire year. I felt complete. Me and my friends talked a lot about the situation. I was positive about the future for once, even though still suicidal. While visiting, me and one of my friends, 26/M, hung out a lot, and he actually confessed to having liked me for a long time and feeling really sad that he couldn't make my situation any better. It might have been my crazy suicidal YOLO mood where I felt like things are already fucked, I might as well fuck it up more. So we hooked up, as friends, or something? That way I couldn't change my mind about the breakup either. I wanted it to be completely over. It was strange how I couldn't seem to care about any consequences, but I thought worst case scenario I would just jump in front of one of the trains on my way home. So on my way home I never got the opportunity to actually die. Since there was another 1.5 weeks left until I would move, I had nowhere else to go but back to the apartment. I didn't know how he would take it. He would write to me while I was away, talking about random things and sending funny YouTube vids as if nothing was wrong. I wanted him to turn to his own friends and not me. When I got home we talked. I asked what he's gonna do in the future and how he had been while I was away. He said he still didn't want kids. He asked how my weeks had been. I told him about the friend, 26/M, and I didn't want to lie about anything since that never pays off. He didn't take it well. Yelling, screaming and running out the door. It felt like ripping off a band-aid. I moved into my dad's place and then finally moved to my apartment. Over a year later, he still claims on Twitter that I'm a cheater and that I cheated on him, and that the cheating was the reason we broke up. He's trying to make people feel sorry for him and claiming that I'm a manipulative, abusive liar. I don't think he ever told his friends or family that we were breaking up since he was in such a denial state of mind at the time, which is funny in a way since his mother asked for grandkids like 4 years before this. I shouldn't care since I know I'm not a cheater, but it still bothers me that he hasn't moved on or still has nothing else to do but lying on the internet. I think he needs help. I also feel so disappointed that all my 6 months of breakup suffering was nothing to him. I don't hate him, but I feel he could do so much more with his life and future, and I feel sorry it had to end in such a mess. We were not right for each other, and I'm a lot happier now, starting over. In the end, I think he only cared about himself and his gaming, and I'm very content about dodging that bullet. Sorry, this was a long rant, less than 3.